yet.
Control the objective.
Black Ops 7, and tomorrow I'm
Securing
not
Charlie.
really sure when I'm gonna upload. I guess I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll upload more than one video. I don't know. I have been
Zone
trying
Charlie,
my
I'm
absolute
taking this
hardest,
objective.
taking multiple days off trying to finish this grind before the 4th. So I unlocked the
Losing
mastery cam
Bravo.
over here, the final mastery. There's Singularity. I unlock
Taking B.
Infestation, the ultimate mastery cam over here on Zombies. Now I'm over here in the co-op campaign. I'm gonna work my way to Warzone grind and other games for
Securing
like the big
B.
Elden Ring Night Raid, and a horror game that I've been
They are
looking
taking
forward to
C.
for well over a decade named Routine. I've been looking at some
Control B.
reviews for it as well. It seems solid.
Toxic grenade incoming!
Best element of it. Games from like the time periods of isolation and amnesia and all that. Real quick though, I want to thank everybody for all the love and support on all the videos. If you enjoy my videos, you can leave a like, and also if you're new here, subscribe. I usually upload every single day. I've been trying the impression that this is a thing kind of like this is a sniper rifle at the moment. 100 fear enemies. It's a type of enemy. Kills with a suppressor on there, kills with 8 attachments, and then you go and do these other.
Hey, I'm Danny Boyd. Today, I want to talk about this guy, Chris Columbus.
The world is around!
No. This guy,
To create a world where you believe that those characters exist, you know.
who kind of reminds me of James Rolfe of Cinemassacre. Maybe it's the Pennsylvania accents, or like,
I'm playing Home Alone games with Macaulay Culkin!
am I missing something? I don't know. Anyway, Columbus. If you don't know him by his face or his name, then you certainly know him by his work.
Is this toothbrush approved by the American Dental Association?
Give it away.
I saw the film in my head, and I said, I have to make this film. So I called my agent, and I said, I want to direct the first Harry Potter film. She said, you and 30 other people.
That's totally barbaric. That's a wizard's chest.
Among those 30 other people was Spielberg, the dude who also happened to be responsible for launching Columbus's career back in the mid-80s. But in the end, it was Columbus who got the job. The responsibility of bringing to life one of the most beloved book franchises in history, directing the first movies, up to the third. So this week, I want to look at the point why Columbus, in his way, was so popular, thanks to his experience directing his other timeless and magical Christmas-time favorite more than a decade prior.
Authorizing UAV
Home Alone and its sequel, Lost in New York, both directed by Columbus, screenplays by John Hughes, were massive hits in their way. Thematically, narratively, tonally, characterly, consciously or not, laid a surprising amount of groundwork for what Columbus would eventually build from going into Harry Potter, a franchise just beginning to be conceived of at that time. Now, I think there are a few fun but maybe more surface level similarities between franchises, particularly Harry Potter with Home Alone 2, that I want to kick off with. 10 things that more often tend to get compared. Beginning with number 1, we agree that these are all basically bona fide Christmas classics.
You better come out and stop me.
Harry Potter, this film especially, has taken on this sort of unofficial identity, maybe because of when the year it came out, or just the attention given to the festivities mid-film. But more concretely, and thing number 2, Harry and Kevin are heroes. 2 kids bullied and bullied by their peers.
Don't you know how to knock phlegm wide?
And uncles.
And you wish you could be more.
Get a dog on the field.
Look what you did, you little jerk!
Who, number 3, are blamed pretty much any time there's an incident where they act out against their own persecution. Provoke incidents that inevitably result in 4 consequences: Harry being sequestered to his cupboard under the stairs, and Kevin to the attic.
I'll get on maneuvers. I am upstairs, dummy.
Confirming kill.
3rd floor?
Before number 5, with a little spark of magic, their lives get turned upside down by the whisk off the magical Fortnite. Where 6, they're met with the wisdom of caring older mentors, to remind them of the power of love and family.
Okay.
All the while, 7, they encounter the trope of the mistaken villain, that save their lives, or at least attempting to.
Contact down.
And number 8, they exhibit a degree of intelligence and courage and fortitude that is well beyond their years, so that 9, they can rise to the occasion in somewhat inverted third act obstacle courses where they defeat their foes.
What is this magic?
Well,
Hardpoint identified.
with both happens brilliantly composed by the one, the only John Williams.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Which was never the plan, by the way. Home Alone 1 was originally scored with temp music aimed at aiding its comedic side. Columbus says the whole thing just ended up feeling like a Looney Tunes cartoon. While the team really joked about getting Williams on board to do it, he was eventually shown a rough cut, fell in love with it. Yes,
Good. We're in the lead. Maintain
turning a
current
low-budget
posture.
Christmas comedy into a piece of movie magic. And as far as Harry Potter goes, well, we all know how that turned out. But all that stuff is kind of circumstantial. I mean, I don't think the story alone, or even the music, is ultimately what allowed Columbus to leave his mark on and his signature to Harry Potter after Home Alone. A director's job is to extract more than just the characters, themes, or plots, the book, the screenplay, its tone, its style. These are sweet, sweet movies, but there's a darkness to them as well, an element of horror. A signature fascination of Columbus's that dates back to Gremlins, way back.
Then requesting UAV overflight.
Childhood.
Mr. Harker, surveillance overflight. I'm glad that you've arrived safely. Count Dracula. I am Dracula, and I welcome you to my house.
Horror of Dracula became a legendary film. For some reason, they never script, but I had heard about it. So when I finally got to see Horror of Dracula, I became obsessed with Hammer horror films, and that started the love of it.
Horror imagery shows up in the Alone movies, the Potter story, and big time in the second. Not to mention the stakes in these movies. For movies for kids, they aren't just high; they're literally life and death.
Burn his head with a blowtorch.
And smash his face with an iron!
Or how about my favorite, peculiar disregard for the crucifixion pain inflicted across all these films?
Uh-oh.
All of that is embedded in the style that Columbus brings to what are otherwise ultimately family films. And then, of course, there's the cast.
For example, Oculus Reparo.
I think Columbus was a wizard in his own right, just in his ability to work, I think, family films. And then, of course, there's the cast.
For example, Oculus Reparo.
I think Columbus was a wizard in his own right, just in his ability to work with young actors. And no ordinary young actors, or rather, extraordinarily ordinary.
When we saw Mac's screen test, we knew he was a star. I mean, you had that inkling from his little scene he did with John Candy and Uncle Buck.
No, she's usually in a bad mood in the morning.
But when he did the screen test for Kevin McAllister, he didn't look like a Hollywood sort of cutout children's character. He looked real. His ear was a little bent. He was immediately and intensely charming and funny.
And there's plenty more where that came from.
Columbus says that authenticity and relatability was everything. And years later, he says that experience of finding and working with Macaulay Culkin would go on to inform his approach to casting Sorcerer's Stone. Young actors who operated on instinct, not training, who either had it or didn't.
We weren't looking for famous kids. You know, I had, people were suggesting famous kids at the time, and I thought, no, Harry Potter has to be someone we've never seen before, or seen very little of.
Dan's screen test was amazingly charming and soulful, and he was inexperienced as an actor, but there was one thing that Dan had that you couldn't teach anyone, which was this sort of haunted quality.
If you heard your mum screaming like that, you're just about to be killed, you wouldn't forget in a hurry.
I just saw it in his eyes in more serious moments, and that was the moment I think that we all felt when we saw that screen test to hire Dan as Harry Potter.
Excellent. Even though it's sometimes a little tough to get the performances, but when you get them, it's something real, and that's great.
What if I make a fool of myself? You won't make a fool of yourself. It's in your blood.
Regarding those performances, it doesn't hurt either that Columbus is a huge advocate for practical effects, putting his actors, regardless of age, right there in the room with everything that's going on in a scene. I've watched a lot of interviews with the cast of Harry Potter talking about their experiences over the years, working on the franchise, the ups and downs, but nothing compares to the genuine joy and gratitude and shared kinship they have when talking about working with Chris Columbus. The other directors would have been great, but if you ask me, having been in the right place, the right time, he was just the right guy for the job. I'm Danny Boyd. Thanks for watching.
The gentle April rain.
It's 2002. A Canadian. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Cod Trash Can here, and would you guys allow me the pleasure to shit all over the Scatmaster? Would you allow me the pleasure to completely make this absolute horrible content creator, beta male bitch, look like an absolute fucking clown? Because this video is gonna be amazing, because we're gonna absolutely just destroy Fooly. This guy is the biggest, most pathetic content creator on YouTube when it comes to Call of Duty. He makes Blame Truth look like a genius. Because, dude, this video and this guy's content, everything these dudes say is nothing but fucking lies. Like, absolute trash. Like, I want to get out of the way, too, before I go any further. I hate Activision. I hate Call of Duty. I hate Microsoft. I hate the Call of Duty community. And I really think Call of Duty has gone down the tube. A boom, a roasting.
Tons of people, and I genuinely mean tons of...
Hugo suffered a really strange-looking right lower leg injury just suddenly here against the Detroit Pistons, just seemingly collapsing to the ground and coming out of the game to be quickly ruled out with concern.
Enemies took the lead. Make them regret
We'll take a look at footage and break it all down. Welcome back, everybody. It's Dr. Secret Warriors channel about the matters now. Of course, what are the odds that today we started hearing about all these reports with Giannis Antetokounmpo requesting trades potentially, all this trade discussion, like super early in the first quarter of Memphis against the Pistons. We see Giannis go down with a non-contact injury that the team officially out and is calling a right calf strain. So the injury occurred here. Giannis is coming around from underneath the basket, and as he's going to run down the court, he just suddenly stops and just looks straight down at his leg before going down to the ground. Here again in this view, as you see him falling behind Black Ops left side, and as his right foot is swinging forward, already is starting to kind of look down directly at his leg. Now, I will say this one thing, we've seen the kind of classic reaction with these ruptures with calf strains. People look behind him, like Gardner, we've seen it with the Achilles injury. The first instinct is to look behind him, feels like somebody hit you in the back of the leg. I've never seen anybody look directly straight down in front of them like this, at least from what we've seen happen. This was an odd reaction to have for potential effects. Also, there really wasn't a particularly serious step or aggressive plant push-off that I would see that would make me highly concerned for something like a high-grade calf injury or an Achilles tear. I thought it was interesting too, as Giannis is being checked out here. You know, he's kind of got the hand on his right leg. Nobody really examines him all that much. Golf court. We see him sit on the bench. Again, nobody's examining him. Nobody's really doing anything before we ultimately see him limp back to the locker room. But right away as he goes down here, we see him motioning over to the bench like, get me out of the game, something happened. We'll dive into a little bit more of what I think this could be in terms of how serious, just what to expect next and what's going on. But first I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, the maker of this beautiful frame sitting back behind me. Today's video is sponsored by Aura. Aura digital frames are beautifully designed Wi-Fi frames that help connect people around the world through their seamless photo sharing experience. My family actually got my grandparents a frame last Christmas, and I'm really excited to tell you about their Carver matte frame, which is an even more beautiful and great frame that makes a perfect gift. The Carver matte frame comes packaged perfectly in a nice little gift box with no price tag. And you can even scan the QR code to pre-order it so that it's ready to go when your lockdown opens in. They can right away and see your upload unlimited free photos and videos to the app. They make it extremely simple. You can just go into the app, click to add photos, scroll through your photo library, select what you want, and then before you know it, you're going to see it show up. Easily add other family members or friends so that everybody can upload photos and videos all year long from the comfort and convenience of your phone. For a limited time, save a perfect gift by heading to auraframes.com. $35 off their best-selling Carver matte frames. Named #1 by Live, use promo code BrianMD at checkout. That's AURA.com. This deal is exclusive to viewers, and the frames sell out fast, so order yours now and get it in. Be sure to support the channel by mentioning the checkout terms and conditions. I want to show you what I mean with the classic example of somebody who's this was Sauce Gardner this past weekend.
Multiple enemy UAV contacts.
Would have occurred on this step here, that left side.
We control the hard point.
Right as we go through, right, that little step, he looks backwards. That's very suggestive of what we see. He's not looking down at his calf or at his foot. He's looking back behind him, like we often see with Achilles injuries.